everyone, the Mormon Truther here, and today we are going to explore the notion that the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints is a cult. Now, a lot of people have read Kingdom of the Cults, especially if you're an anti-Mormon subscribing to the notions that Mormons are evil or this or that or whatever's being taught, or whatever. But you've probably heard the saying that Mormons are a cult and all that. Well, let's investigate this claim. Webster's dictionary definition of a cult is 1. A formal religious veneration or worship. That could be any religion. Mormon, Christian, Catholic, Muslim, Hindu, Jewish, whatever. Number 2, a system of religious belief and ritual. Also, its body of adherents. Again, that could apply to any religion. Number 3, a religion regarded as unorthodox or spurious. Also, its body of adherents. Now, that could be any religion based on your perspective. According to many Muslims and even Muslim extremists such as like ISIS and Al-Qaeda and whatnot, is always being argued that the Western civilization, which is a, quote, Christian nation for all intents and purposes, are infidels, they're evil, they're unorthodox. Okay? So, unorthodox is simply a matter of perspective. Now, number 4, a system for the cure of disease based on dogma set forth by its promulgator, health cults. That's not uncommon, especially in many mainstream Christians. There are quite a few mainstream people who are Christian. Sorry, it's a bit late filming this. It's about 1 o'clock in the morning, actually, when I'm filming this. There are many people who are, in fact, Christian who do not subscribe to modern medicine, but rely solely on God to heal their ailments, or at the very least subscribe to natural remedies alone, and will not go to a hospital or a doctor or whatnot. And that can pertain to any religion. Number 5, great devotion to a person, idea, object, movement, or work. Yeah, that could be any religion. Christianity itself subscribes great devotion to God the Father and His Son Jesus Christ. It doesn't necessarily have to be a physical being or idol, something physical. People can worship money. The almighty dollar. So that could be attributed to any religious belief system. Such devotion regarded as a literary or intellectual fad. B, the object of such devotion. C, a usually small group of people characterized by such devotion. Again, that could even be attributed to a small congregation or a church that's just getting started. And so, by this definition alone, you can see that any religion or religious ideology or gathering could be constituted as a cult. So you got to run a little deeper. What defines a cult? Isolation, crude and unusual methods of mind control. Let's think. Easily excommunicated. So let's attribute that to the LDS here. Are the LDS isolated from the general public? No. We're out there with the rest of you. We interact with people of all walks of life on a daily basis, whether in our personal lives, work, or whatever, what have you. As far as like secrets or anything, the only thing you can quote consider secret is the temple, and I've already addressed that in a previous video. So it's not really a secret thing. You don't have any secret documents or anything. There's no secret doctrine. Everything is pretty much public and is there for review and scrutiny. So like it or hate it. And like a lot of religious institutions such as Scientology, we don't try to suppress anybody's negative opinion, such as like the Church of Scientology, when people were having fun with that Ben Affleck video and the Church of Scientology had a conniption fit about it. The LDS don't do that. Not that I'm knocking the Church of Scientology, I'm just pointing out facts for what they are. Okay? Mind control. Don't utilize methods of mind control, most notably methods of mind control. Now you could say that our services are based on mind control, but if you really look at it, our church services are not that different from any other church services, and we don't subscribe to the methods of mind control such as repetitive messages on a daily basis, being subjected to these messages early in the morning in cold environments so that you're tired but you can't sleep, so your mind is exhausted and therefore more acceptable to influence. The messages aren't repetitive. You're not being subjected to it repeatedly throughout the day, every day, 7 days a week, as is with the traditional cult or even just any mind control method. So, all that's pretty subjective. And, what was the other one? Let me scroll down here. I actually have a whole mess of notes. Mind control, isolation. Opposition to independent thinking. Nobody is forced to think a particular way. Everybody has their own thoughts and opinions, Everybody has conflicting ways of thinking, and that's not a problem within the church. Crude disciplinary action, fear of excommunication. Yeah, the church does excommunicate people from time to time, but it's only for extreme reasons. Whereas a cult such as Morning Land or other most noted cult ideologies, you could be excommunicated for something really stupid. I mean, you look at somebody the wrong way, you can be kicked out. You can be kicked out for virtually anything, whereas excommunication in the LDS Church is very infrequent, if that's the right word again. 1 o'clock in the morning, pretty tired. But it's not that common, and when it does happen, it's usually for extreme reasons. Now, none of that fits a cult. If you compare the cult practices to that of LDS, they don't measure up. So to call the LDS a cult because they believe something different than you is unfair. Everybody has differences in belief. In fact, Christianity believes in different things. Not every Christian believes things the same way. The Methodist doesn't believe the same way as the Lutheran or the Baptist or the Seventh-day Adventists. And none of them believe this and worship the same way as the Catholics do, and vice versa. Everybody's got a different interpretation of Scripture. Everybody's got a different understanding. Everybody's got a different form of belief and the way they worship. There's always going to be differences. And we can argue that that's different than the LDS, but how is it any different? Really think about it. How is what I just pointed out any different? Think about it. Post your thoughts and comments in the comment boxes below, and let's see where this discussion takes us. Till next time, I'm the Mormon Truther. Have a good night.